Hey all, and welcome back to Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. Today we're going to be bucking the trend of visiting Golden Age or Renaissance era Disney-themed worlds, and instead we're going for something a little bit more original in the shape of Hollow Bastion. Oh, one of the most iconic areas in all of Kingdom Heartsdom. It was even used as Sora's representative stage in Smash Bros. Perfect pick, in my opinion, but what the hell are we doing now, Spar, exactly?
Well, right now we're bringing back the Gummy pieces to Sid so that we can actually reach Hollow Bastion.
Ah, I see, yes.
I think we might have mentioned this earlier. I know it's been a long time since we did some of the previous parts, but you can actually hold off on doing the opposite armor fight until right now, if you wanted to do that, because you don't need the Navi G piece that gives you until you need to go to Hollow Bastion.
Be a bit weird to do it that way. It's like, oh, we know where Kairi and Riku are, better go fight an upside-down version of God Armor.
It works better in the speedrun because you end up doing that fight with a lot more tools, so it goes a lot faster that way, and the rewards you get from the fight itself aren't that important. That's how they end up doing it there. We did it the normal way for the playthrough, but I'm just, a lot of people don't even know you can do that.
Do you think that thing about, the shit running on happy faces is real, or was that just Dawn and Goofy having a giggle at Sora's expense?
I vaguely recall that being a thing in the manga, that they ran out of, fuel because of, not having happy faces or something. I might be just kind of fooling myself into thinking that, though.
Well, the manga has a bunch of crazy shit. Let me see if I can find Donald speaking philosophy. Donald Kingdom Hearts manga.
The Kingdom Hearts manga is something special, as is this scene with Kairi's grandma here. The manga itself is actually really cool. There's a lot I like in it. Personally not a fan of the Chain of Memories manga because it tries too much to be a gag manga in basically the most serious story in the series. That was actually harder to say than I thought it would be, a lot of alliteration there.
This scene has been ruined for me because near the end, when I was watching the Oni plays run, there's space off to the side, and Oni and G had a really nightmare, noodle-ified Kairi run in and scream.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Kind of funny. Anyway, I found the thing I was looking for. Here's a little something to listen to. Every world is defined by its particular boundaries, within which some understanding of reality emerges as truth. Two truths cannot coexist, and so, from the introduction of foreign bodies, is conflict and chaos spawned. That's why we limit our involvement in local affairs. That was Donald saying that.
Yeah, just imagine that with Donald's voice. Obviously, you don't get the voice in the manga itself, but you can picture it, or imagine it in your head. You can't picture a voice, I guess.
So as we know, Kairi and her grandma lived in the Radiant Garden to begin with.
Apparently they were friends with Ansem the Wise in some way, since they had access to this library. I think this is Ansem's castle? The bit with the castles in Hollow Bastion / Radiant Garden is confusing because there's 3 of them, I think. And it's not entirely clear which one is being used at which point.
It's like that drill quote of oh help me, I can't afford any more things because I'm spending too much on candles, but just replace candles with castles.
Right, yeah.
Well, I did it. I don't know how these Gummy ships actually work, but somehow I'm making it work.
This Sid from 7 was an engineer of some kind who could, make planes, so now that I'm thinking about that, it makes sense that he's the one that works on the Gummy ships. I've never really thought about that before.
Fair enough. It's funny that there's a Sid recurring throughout the Final Fantasy franchise, because I actually completed the remake of Live Alive recently, and there's a character called Watanabe in there, and him and his dad keep showing up in the different time periods with, different names and whatnot. Like Imperial China, Watanabe is Watanabe.
Oh, alright. That's interesting. I want to give Live Alive another shot. As I said on Twitter, I wasn't crazy about the demo, but I think I was going about it the wrong way, and maybe picked the wrong story to start off with.
Which one did you start off with, Matt?
I started off with Edo, Japan. I think that was such a weird gameplay style compared to how the game expects you to do. that it wasn't really prepared for what it wanted from me.
Well, that was actually my least favourite chapter, but when we get to it eventually with a playthrough, because I do want to bring it to the channel, we'll be using a guide for the Bastion run, so maybe things will be different there.
Oh, yeah, alright.
I seem to recall you saying you put the seat on backwards or something, was that true?
I put the cockpit of the Gummy ship on backwards in another thing that I was mentioning. It had nothing to do with this game.
Ah, okay.
A little teaser for you there. But yes, that is a thing that will come to fruition at some point.
You know, maybe keep an eye out throughout 2023. We got some surprises for you all.
This Gummy route is actually pretty short because it's going to end in like 10 seconds. This is one of the shortest ones in the whole game, I think.
Maybe they just wanted to get you into the story nice and fast.
Maybe they designed it for the vanilla game before they added the haste gummies that speed everything up.
And so, we begin the Hollow Bastion arc. Big fan of just calling periods of time arcs. I don't know, it makes my life more interesting. Fuck you, I'll live how I want.
Just call arcs places or places arcs.
Oh, that's strange. What? I expected Emma Watson to be here, but she's not here.
Honestly, just landing in this valley with the waterfalls going upwards was such an iconic thing as a kid. Because you have no idea what you're expecting here on like your first run.
Really? And also, I didn't grow up with Klonoa, so it was kind of unique visually for me anyway, so...
Did you know you could freeze the bubbles?
I did, but I forgot about it until this moment. That's another KH1-ism for you.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing. There's like a couple things in the environment that you can interact with spells, like using thunder to activate the gizmo shop, or lighting campfires with a fire spell, stuff like that. It's just... they're so rare, I guess, or uncommon, I guess is a better way to put it, because they're out there, they're just not everywhere. Sometimes you forget about them.
When our world fell into darkness,
Imagine Gohan going beast mode and he just turns into Disney's Beast.
I would find her again.
Like, what the hell? I wasn't expecting that. What a crossover.
Believed I would
Gohan, voiced by Robbie Benson.
Indeed.
here I
He's still as good as he was in the movie. I consider that one of the all-time classics.
We were actually planning to watch The Beauty and the Beast before we ended up recording this, but scheduling issues and things going on prevented that from being possible. But this part of KH1 really takes nothing from that movie anyway, so we decided it was okay to just skip it anyway.
It's kind of like Maleficent's writing fanfiction and just happened to include Riku and the Beast.
Well, it's more like Belle's here, and so Beast decided he wanted to be here too. I think Beast is the one writing the fanfiction.
I've been waiting for you.
Kind of raw, though, that he made it here through sheer willpower.
Yeah, Maleficent said earlier that Riku trying to travel between worlds without a vessel or ship of some kind was dangerous. And Beast is just like, fuck that, I'm gonna do it anyway.
I'm French, I don't understand politeness.
Let the Keyblade choose. It's true, Master.
Here, Keyblade.
I once wrote a few chapters of a Naruto and Xenoblade Chronicles crossover fanfiction. Since we're talking about fanfiction, I'm going to go into this.
Smart, where the fuck are we going with this?
I'm getting there.
Only the Keyblade Master.
At one point in the story, as Naruto's the one with the Monado, since it's the crossover,
One of the most important parts of the game, Smart. Jesus Christ.
Sasuke runs away from the village and he steals the Monado. Naruto catches up to him, and Sasuke says this line. Naruto's the one that had the Monado, and Sasuke's just like, you were just the delivery boy. I wanted to use that line, but I never actually got that far in writing it.
Maybe I can kill myself with this one sword, just so I don't have to live with the memories of what you just said.
Hey, you read some of my fanfiction on one of the live streams for the Guiding Key Marathon.
Don't tell them that. I guess it's okay to abandon friends if better friends come along.
I wouldn't really call this better friends. This is more like obligations.
You lost your Emma Watson too, I see.
It took me until now to get the Emma Watson joke because I was just thinking about the other series she's known for. Fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, don't move. You're hurt.
The live action Beauty and the Beast is not great. It's not great.
There's a lot of problems with the direction and just the entire concept, I feel like.
I came to fight for Belle.
I just like the idea of Maleficent, like, coming out and chucking her back. Like, you know what, she was going on about feminist shit, like, all day, every day, so you can just have her back.
Oh, God.
I won't leave without her. That's why I'm here.
So anyway, this whole thing about, like, the Kingdom Key originally being meant for Riku and then moving on down the list, as it were. Do you think Sora will ever get his own Keyblade, or do you think the Kingdom Key is a perfect reflection of his heart?
I came here to
I
find
think at
someone
this point
dirty
the Kingdom
and
Key is his Keyblade. After all the stuff he's been through, at least by the end of KH3, I don't think there's any chance that it's gonna, like, revert back to its original state and go back to Riku or anything. Ignoring the fact that Riku has his own by now anyway.
Yes, indeed. I gotta be honest, I much prefer Riku's more recent Keyblade to Weighted Dawn. I'm sorry, I found it a bit too ostentatious.
It's very edgy. As much as I think the giant car key that he uses is very strange as well. Yeah, Weighted Dawn's a bit much.
Now, Beast here is aptly named, for he plays like a beast as well. He can rip through enemies.
Absolutely one of the best party members in the entire series in his KH1 version. Obviously, with the wooden sword, we can't do any damage, like, just by whacking the Heartless with it, but we still have magic at least, so that's good.
We're a little bit stronger, well, much stronger than Sora coming through here in Recoded, because there you have to wait until you find Donald and Goofy, and then they do all the actions for you. Again, Recoded, story is kind of nothing, gameplay really interesting.
I would say the story is something, it just doesn't fit into the entire series that well. If you look at it by itself, it's still at least somewhat entertaining.
We ever gonna see Data Sora again? What's that, no? Oh, okay.
Yeah. The fact that they brought back the blocks in San Francisco and KH3 is just kind of nothing. It's so out of nowhere, it means nothing, it accomplishes nothing.
Yeah, you can't see it, but I'm kind of shaking my head right now. Like, Nomura, I trust your plan, but that was one of the biggest cock teasers of all time.
One more freeze here, because there's a hidden treasure chest up here that we can grab
Shut the
with
fuck
a
up.
very rare synthesis item.
No way.
This contains a dark matter, which is one of the rarest items in the whole game as far as synthesis.
Interesting.
I don't remember how I originally found out about freezing the bubbles, but it's sort of a meme in some streams that I watch, like Miss Master 1, who I've mentioned multiple times. It's just a meme every time he gets to Hollow Bastion, because one of the chests you can grab is a set of Dalmatians. So in the runs where you need to grab those, he makes a meme out of the bubbles.
Right. And you can get onto that platform by just gliding down from above or whatever, so you wouldn't have to use the ice platform to get there.
Right, that's the weird thing. In fact, when you come back to Hollow Bastion later, there are more bubbles around and more chests that you can grab, so, like, it's weird that they add more stuff coming back later. I mean, the story, you know, precipitates that, obviously, but, I don't think I've ever heard of anyone really having trouble with those panels, the sliding gates or whatever, because it really is just you hit them in the order you find them, and then on the way back you do them in reverse order, and you don't even have to hit the last one to get out.
Spa, are you puzzle shaming our audience?
I might be. It's sort of a very kids first puzzle kind of thing, which I would almost call Kingdom Hearts a kids first RPG, not quite on the level of like Paper Mario, maybe. But it is very simple in its mechanics, I would say, compared to something like a Final Fantasy.
I would put it a step above, like, Paper Mario and whatnot, because there's a lot more, like, stats to take into account, for one thing. Plus you have multiple party members with you on the field at one time. The story is a lot more complicated. I would say if Paper Mario is suited for like children and up, this is suited for teenagers and up.
Yeah, which I think reflects a lot of the rating that it got, because I think they changed the series later to like an E10 rating instead of just E for everyone, or maybe even put it at teen, I don't remember. Because KH2 had like some blood in it, so they may have upped the rating for that.
The E stands for Eeyore. Eeyore is for everyone. Oh bother, here comes Peggy again.
See ya.
I take it you like using gravity a lot, Spur.
It is incredibly powerful. It's also like, I could use like Fyra or Blizzara, but they're just not quite as impactful, I guess.
They rip through the defender's defense, bit of a redundant statement, but they can hit pretty hard when they want to, so you know what, fuck it, I'm willing to tip the scales in my favor.
See ya.
Watch this.
Jesus.
Yep. If you can get a whole bunch of enemies in the one gravity, it's just really great.
That was like me accidentally dropping a potato chip on the settee and then forgetting about it and sitting on it. Bit of a long-winded statement, but whatever, the doors are open, and Hollow Bastion is now ours to peruse. What the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, I kinda always forget that the princesses are just locked away. I think it looked like they had like rocks growing on them or something. I've never really paid attention to that.
Honestly, they were just so annoying. They started singing songs and whatnot, talking about friendship, so I kind of put them in cryostasis.
All of them singing together would just attract every bird in a 20-mile radius.
Well, you know, it worked in Shrek 3, so... It's over there, dumbass.
Why Maleficent doesn't realize that something weird is happening because there wasn't a beam of light shooting out of Kyrie as well is beyond me.
Huh. Good point. What an impressive foyer.
This couldn't possibly be used for a boss fight.
Ah, shut up, it's not wide enough. Wait a minute.
Are you ready for them?
Hello, it's me.
Fun fact, Belle is not actually voiced in this game, as far as I can tell.
Aw, no Pedro Horror?
Mm-hmm. I didn't actually notice that until I was looking up, like, my notes for this episode.
Quit while you can.
No, not without Kyrie.
The darkness will destroy you.
Riku, what the fuck are you doing,
wrong,
mate?
Riku. The darkness may destroy my body.
Like what?
It can't touch my
Maleficent
heart.
gave me this new costume.
My heart
I
was
want to
filled
make
with
sure
my
I, like, you know,
You
wear
don't
it out a
like
little bit so it fits
Really?
better.
Well, we'll just see about that.
Just a costume of red, black, and blue veins and a white grass skirt. It's just a big combination of a bunch of things.
Now, obviously, this is Vanitas's fit, but I'm not entirely sure what the connection between, like, him and Riku is.
You know what? I don't think there is one. I think they just wanted to reuse the costume when they got to Vanitas.
Could you tell the king I'm really sorry?
Xehanort's presence is sort of possessing Riku, and Xehanort created, like, Vanitas and whatnot. I don't know.
There's some connections that you can make, but I don't know if they're entirely accurate.
Stuck with us, Sora.
Thanks a lot, Donald. Goofy.
But mostly Goofy.
How will you fight without a weapon?
I know now I don't need the Keyblade.
But
I've
it
got a
would
better
really
weapon.
help.
It would. I would really like it back.
Your heart? What good will that weak little thing do for you?
I'm out of Keyblades, but I'm not out of options. Sora joins Fortnite.
It's grown with each new experience.
Ties all
It's
the
found a home
keychains
with
that
all
he
the
has
friends
together
I
and
made.
uses them as a whip. Wait, that would actually be really cool.
You gonna write fanfiction about this, Spo?
I have
They don't
before.
forget me. Then our
damn
hearts
it.
will be one.
Never underestimate me, Tom.
I don't need a weapon. My friends are my power.
And the Keyblade apparently found that really poggers. So it was like, fuck this guy.
Olympia's better anyway, let's go!
Yeah, buddy, it's very good for this fight because it breaks through guards.
Or at the very least, it helps your guard not get broken as much. I do wish I had counterattack, but that would have required me to pick different like weapons at the very start of the game to change what I learn when I level up. But yeah, I did fine anyway.
Now, we'll be fighting Riku a couple of times here. This one is but a taster, if you will. The next one will be much harder.
Arguably, I would say honestly he's a bit more aggressive in this one. Also, getting him caught on the stairs definitely did not help me any. If you can get that air combo where Sora does the Hurricane Blast finisher, Riku will always respond after 3 hits, and if that finisher hits, it will also guard his next attack because of the spinning effect of it. So it's just a really great thing to do. The problem, as you can see there, is trying to hit Riku with air combos.
You're doing great here, Spar. I believe in you.
And the fight's done.
Yay! I contributed fuck all to talking about... Oh, Goofy, you're right. Ah!
I broke out laughing so hard when I was recording this. Nat was actually worried about me.
No, my fit. It was a loader anyway. Okay, so it turns out that was just Emma Watson. I'm kind of... Yeah, I'm done with phantoms, alright? I'm going to join you for a bit.
Don't put Beast back in the party because you actually need to activate some Trinities from here on out.
Ah, thanks, game.
I mean, it defaults to him not being in the main party, so that's good at least.
This was still being made by Square and not Square Enix, so there were a few classical RPG tropes like obscure things that you have to kind of have foresight in order to realize that you need, and so on and so forth. I'm rambling here, but you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, the bigger problem is that you can't change your party unless you get one of those, you know, the pop-ups that happened a minute ago, or unless you go back to a save point. So that means you would have to backtrack, unlike in other games like KH2, where you can, you know, change it on the fly. I just wanted to stop and show that little desk down there where Kyrie's grandma was at.
Beautiful. Well, you know, you could be Kingdom Hearts 3 and you have the party members and Don and Goofy out at the same time, but, you know, who's bragging?
I feel like they could have done that and then made the party members, like, less effective. But actually, I feel like a lot of the party members in 3 were better than any of their previous iterations, despite there being more of them at a time.
I was discussing with you the other day how big of a glow-up the Pirates franchise in Kingdom Hearts got from 2 to 3, and, you know, Jack is a perfect example of that.
Jack in KH2 is one of, if not the worst party member in the entire series. He is just so worthless.
Wow.
But in 3, he's actually pretty good.
So kind of you. Ah yes, we must collect 4 of a thing to open a door. I'm familiar with this.
See ya.
This is a very Squaresoft RPG kind of thing, I guess, is collect multiple things to unlock a key, or get a key to unlock a door, I guess.
Wait, no, I'm alive! Maybe if Beast was in the party, he would have been able to spot animate objects.
Beast by himself should have been able to push that thing without needing a Trinity. There's a weird thing here. You notice that Sora stopped pushing the statue.
Yeah.
That's because there's a little ledge there next to it where you start pushing from, and when Sora changes height from that down to the floor, it forces him to stop pushing it. I don't know why it's there. It's incredibly annoying, because sometimes you just can't get Sora back on the thing to keep pushing it.
Really bizarre, and I'm going to create a YouTube video saying that these games are outdated and not worth playing at all. Or maybe I'll just write fanfiction about it, who knows.
Or maybe I'll just go on with my life and stop caring.
Yeah, maybe I should do that, Spar, in a number of areas, I think.
There's a neat little thing you can do right there with the railing on the staircase, because Sora can slide down it.
Ooh.
Actually gains momentum, and you can use that to jump all the way from the railing to where the chest is. It's one of the only times in the game that you can utilize any kind of momentum in your movement, and it's so fun to pull it off. I sadly was not able to do it while recording.
Oh, Jesus. Certain Sonic fans going wild in the comments section right now. Meanwhile, in a different part of the castle... I'm not owned, I'm not owned! I say as I slowly shrink into the darkness.
The heart that is strong and true shall win the Keyblade.
I miss Billy Zane.
He was good, but I feel like Richard Epcar's
You're
made the
saying
role
my
his
heart's
own
bigger
now.
than his?
He has. I feel like a lot of what he did in, like, Rechain of Memories and KH2 was
You can be
trying too hard to emulate Billy Zane.
Yeah.
But now he has definitely, you know, come into the role and, like you said, made it his own. That I do think he's a better fit. Just took him a while to reach that point.
to the darkness.
What a journey you and I have had. There is more to seek, so go forth now
What should I
and
do?
seek it.
It's really quite simple. Open yourself to the darkness.
Yeah, go on, bro, just smoke the joint.
Embrace the stinkiness.
Oh,
Your
I'm
being
smelling. Oh, he's
darkness
mint.
itself.
He's mint, I'm blueberry. We're a perfect combination.